and welcome to Nonic Nonsense, a show where when I close my eyes, the only thing I see is the pink walls of Ripley Greer. I am Cat Gold.
I am Michael Manadomini. Today we have a guest on that we have wanted for a very long time. I've done multiple shows with her now. She was in the first professional show that I ever did. Kat, give your little introduction.
I love this chickadee. I've loved this chickadee for so long, and it took forever to do a show with her. Anyway, welcome to the podcast, Alexandra.
What's up, you guys? How goes it?
It goes. I guess to get started, how's Dolly going?
It's good. It's good. You know, this is my second time doing it actually. And usually the first time I did the production, the women doubled as the men. And so the women did the female and the male track at that time. And it was insane. It was incredibly rewarding, but it was also like, now looking back on it in retrospect and doing the show again, I watched those guys in that waiter's gallop do those 12, bell jumps in a grand plie, and my knees just cry for them. They weep. They weep because it's such a hard athletic number, and you're throwing your entire body, into it for like 8 minutes straight. And it's just, you get done and then you literally have like maybe 3 minutes to like get a sip of water and then go back out and do Hello Dolly. So
I swear to God, these Jerry Herman shows really want to kill you. As a person that did MAME in the last year,
it's
these
Gower
shows...
Champion, really. It's Gower Champion, because that's the culprit. That dude, man, may God rest his soul. Thank you for all the brilliance. But like, Jesus, dude, like, did you want my spine to be in pain all day? Like, did you want my knees to, fucking to bleed? Like, these shows hurt. They hurt. And it's like, people watch them and they go, yeah, you're just walking. And it's like, yeah, but even that hurts because you have to stand in such a way. And it's really challenging. And for the women, it was a bitch, because like we would start the first act off as, in all the female costume tracking. And then at intermission, we'd have to take the wigs off, take out all our pin curls, slick our hair back, go do all the waiter's gallop and Hello Dolly and courtroom stuff, and then go back off, re-pin curl, and put the wig back on, and then, bow in our Sunday clothes. So
that's absolutely disgusting. I mean, like, there was a time when in rehearsal, when I wasn't like in the gallop, where I was like, damn, like, I wish I was doing it. And now that I'm a chef and I'm like in it, but like not in it, but in it in the same time. And then watching them, I'm like, damn, I am so glad I'm not in that number.
It hurts. It hurts. It really, really hurts. And I mean, we also did other things, because we had the choreographer who did it at the WIC had done it on Broadway with Carol Channing. So he came and like set everything on us, which was cool. But I had moments in rehearsal where I was like, okay, there's a reason why women don't do some of this shit. Because it's like, I was doing like grand plie lunges across the stage, and then pulling myself up into like a double pirouette, and then going back down into the lunge, and like crawling like a crab with this tray in my hand, like just, praying to God that my legs don't fucking give out, and just praying that like I get across that stage and off of it before I collapse.
Oh my God.
And we had swinging doors too. We had swinging doors on our set. And it's like everything was rigidly timed. So if you went through that swinging door at the wrong moment or one count off, you were getting smacked in the face. So it was dangerous. That number's there's certain dance numbers in the musical theater canon that are dangerous, and that is one of them. Absolutely.
The
I feel
Waiters
like-
Gallop is like the Kentucky Derby of dance numbers. Like it's just
and that's
like
it's
really
similar.
messed up.
It's similar to the fox hunt in Maine. That whole fox hunt
Absolutely.
through the end. Every night I would see all the people in their little outfits, and I was like, Godspeed, because I used to be one of the ladies in white with an umbrella. It's like my job was swaying and doing the cakewalk. Everyone else is just like leaping for their goddamn lives. And I'm like, couldn't be me.
That's me as the chef. I'm running around with a fucking towel, and all these boys are doing like bucket cartwheels, and I'm just like Toro, and then I'll go stand on the stairs. Like,
Jesus. And it's like, it gives me heart palpitations, like, because I watch it sometimes off stage, and I'm just like, two things cross my mind. One is, oh dear God, like, wow, it's amazing, and I'm holding my breath. And then the second thought that crosses my mind is, oh, glad it ain't me. Glad it ain't me.
Oh my gosh.
I do have a fun bit at the beginning of the number that I never really get to talk about, but since I'm one of the chefs, like I'm the comedic relief of this number, I guess. Like there's a couple moments where I come in and my friend Dez has a bucket on its head, and then he runs in and I like Toro him like he's a bull with like one of the things, and then
you're Matador Domini.
But I start off the number on the stairs, and Rudolph is giving like a pep talk to these boys. He's like, it's gonna be fast, double speed, blah blah blah, this and that. And I'm standing there and I'm giving face to all these people who are just like looking up at me, and they like, I'm trying to break them constantly because I'm the only one that's actually facing the audience, but I'm giving them like angry chef face, like this the whole time. And my goal has been to break every single one of them like beforehand. So like I'm standing behind Rudolph, and Toiter is in front of Rudolph, and I'm hiding behind him, and all he sees is this. I'm just like peeking out. I go like this, and just seeing like a smile crack on all their faces. I'm like, got you. I walked up to Eli. I was like, you're next. Like,
just messing with y'all. Oh my God. Yeah.
Ursula is listening to this podcast and going, God damn it, man.
Because I'm never hiring that fucking kid again.
No. Because Michael is just as bad when you're on stage with him. Doing La Cage with him for 3 months in Arizona was wild. The amount of tomfoolery that man would do.
Throw him under the bus.
Okay.
Throw him under the bus.
I can't wait till we eventually have him on this pod so I can really call him out for every single thing that he did in that show.
Because I feel like he's pretty easy to break. Or if I'm incorrect, I'm incorrect. But I feel like he's easy to break.
Well, the thing is he used to be the instigator of nonsense and then would break with me. It was hard because so during La Cage, best of times, whatever.
Yeah.
George would blow a kiss to Zaza, and she would grab it, and every night Michael would do something different with the kiss. Sometimes he would roofie people's drinks with it. Sometimes he would take it and like stick it underneath the table. Sometimes he would like take it and like slap it onto the proscenium. And then brilliant. One day he put it in my hand. He put the kiss in my hand. And so everyone on stage, we would all watch this because every night he would do something different. We did like 50 something performances of this, and he would do something different with it every single night. And so one day he puts it in my hand, and of course we have to dance together in a minute. And so I'm literally holding it in my hand, trying to figure out what to do with it. And I decide in my dumb mind to give it back to him. And
no.
So I tried to give it back to him, but I gave it back to him in the wrong hand. So we ended up we had a partner during the song, and we both grabbed the wrong hand. No. And then I just hear him going, switch hands.
Oh yeah, you feel the shake. You feel the shake. It's like, oh yeah.
Well, no, he's a giggle monster. So it's you hear the.
He is. He's gonna listen to this fucking section of the podcast. He's like, this is why I'm not coming on this shit. Like,
he's like, yeah, fuck you guys.
He knows.
Oh, what we do. Well, did y'all see that clip? It went viral on Instagram of that actor in Some Like It Hot who's off stage just fucking with Christian Borle.
We were sharing it in our Charlie and the Chocolate Factory group chat. We were sharing that video. It was so ridiculous.
It is incredible. I mean, it really is. It's like, it's a piece of art. Bravo to you, sir. For real.
It's reassuring to know that it doesn't get better. It doesn't get more professional, and it just continues.
That's the ceiling of what we do, and people are still acting like that. So yeah, that's refreshing. I will say.
I've never related to a video so much before in my life. And shout out to Austin Carroll, because I did this same thing to him every night during Mary Poppins. Because there was this scene in the bank where he would stay, like, he was in the back and he was super serious and he was holding the pencil. And I would end up leaving as Von Hustler, but then I had a re-entrance. But it was like a minute and a half, 2 minutes until I re-entered. So the way it worked is the lights would shift and they would go up and they would go down with the transition for who would come in and talk to the banks. So he was standing in the back, and once Von Hustler would leave, the lights would stay up and then they'd go down and then they'd come back up. So I was like, that gives me a perfect opportunity to do something really fucked up and break Austin Carroll. So my whole goal, like throughout the run, it was like really tame in the beginning. Like the lights would come up, the lights would come down, the lights would come back up. I'd be twerking. Or like, it's something simple. Like one time the lights were up, I was standing still. The lights came down, the lights came back up. I was dead, like the chalk pose on the floor.
Yeah.
And then the one night I got him, because he was very good. He was like not breaking. And I was like, damn, man, how the fuck am I going to get him? Yeah. And I'm standing in the wings and Ben Shavitz walks over to me. And it's just me and Ben Shavitz, like just standing still, looking at Austin. The lights go down. They come back up, and then Ben is giving it to me, but he's not giving it to me normally. Like he's got like one hand on my hip, and then the other one's like cowboying, and then I'm bent over, but my hat is coming off and back on with like every pump. And that one got Austin so bad that he literally had to like pick his book up in front of his face. And I was like, gotcha, bitch. But listen, if you don't break slightly with me trying to give you tomfoolery, it's just going to get worse.
You know what? Then you're just going to make me do it more. Now you're egging me on is what's happening. You're egging me
motivation.
Alex, are you an instigator of chaos during shows like this?
Me?
Yeah.
I try to be good. I try to be good, but yeah, I've had my moments definitely. I flashed Emily Tarallo backstage at Stage Door during Cabaret. So that, I mean, we would just stand backstage like before Money, because we were wearing nothing but, garters and underwear and bras, and it would just be like meep, and then it would be like money, and just like make sure your bras on.
Oh my god!
Because God forbid. I've had crazy shit happen to me on stage though, like, and I've told Michael this story, but the first
time
I did 42nd Street. We're doing the opening, and we're doing those wing time steps again. Gower champion, like, was definitely doing some drugs when he was choreographing all this shit. But I go to do like the final wing time step, and I turn, and my eye, like, I squinted and it spit my contact lens out of my eye. And I'm like, oh fuck, I gotta finish this number now, because I have terrible vision. I'm severely nearsighted, and I'm like, one eye is clear and one is blurry. So I'm like, half of the stage is clear and half of it's blurry. So I would turn and like I would be able to see my arm, and then all of a sudden it would be like fuzzy. So I did the entire opening number like half blind. And I turned up stage, and my friends were like, what's wrong with you? And I'm like, I can't fucking see. I can't see shit. So thank God I had like a backup pair in my dressing room, but holy crap, that was terrifying. And I could like feel it. I was like, oh, there it goes. And it like stayed on my cheek for a hot minute and then just rolled off onto the stage. And I was like, well, sayonara. There goes my eye. That's it.
Oh my God. No, I had something similar when I did Tommy at Outre. Well, this was a little bit different, but because I think I'm halfway to being legally blind, is what the doctors told me.
It's awful.
Yeah, no, but they were, I guess, repairing the set or what have you, and decent amount of wood in that. And of course, we were getting dressed backstage. I wear my glasses majority of the time until I'm doing a show, right?
Right.
I got sawdust under my contact.
Oh.
Now
no.
I thought I was fine. I thought, oh, it's just, dry eye. I have dry eye too. So
right.
We do one show. I take them out. I go to work the next day. Yeah. I cannot open this eye. Fully fucking closed. So I ended up having to do and apparently I got a corneal abrasion from it. Literally, my eye doctor was like, "Did you recently have eye surgery?" I was like, "No." And they were like, "You've got some serious scarring in here already." And I was like,
Jesus.
Great. So I had to do half of the run. Of course, that's the one production of Tommy that I did where they actually had me dance for some reason. And so I couldn't wear my contacts. So literally people on stage would just grab my arm to make sure I didn't fall off the stage.
Come on, Grandma, here, come with me. Okay.
I was the youngest one on the cast, and they were like, other than our actual kid Tommy, and they were like, "Kat, please don't die," because there was one night where I almost went straight off the stage, just
no,
that's pinball wizard.
Anytime your vision is compromised on stage, especially when things are moving really fast, it's terrifying. Mm-hmm.
This is how I die.
Another terrifying thing was, I did Crazy for You, and I had to swing on a pickaxe, and that was pretty wild because and it was, God bless Aaron Atkinson. Shout out to Aaron Atkinson. He's one of the best dance partners I've ever had. He would have to go in a plie behind me, like a grand plie in second. And I would go in front of him. I would step in front of him. I would have the axe. And we're running with these axes in fucking tap shoes, mind you. Hoping God don't fall, because if I fall, I'm getting impaled. So running. You meet your partner. You plant the pickaxe down on the stage. The girl has to step on it with tap shoes. And the guy has to get down in a plie, grab us around the hips and around the hips, and lift us and swing us from side to side. And when you get swung completely lateral. So the entire house, when I was on it, would just go totally sideways. Like I was on a carnival attraction, and then it would go the other way. And it was just, you breathe and you pray. That's what you do at that point. And then you get off of it and you're like, okay, I'm okay. I didn't get impaled today. Thank you, Susan Stroman. Thank you.
Thank you, Susan Stroman.
Listen, that show was beautiful.
It was.
I think that was the best show I saw at the Wick.
I loved that show so much, and everything about it so much. It was one of the hardest things I've ever done in my career, but one of the most rewarding. But it's one of those shows where I don't even think I would want to do it again, because it was so special. You do some shows and you're like, you know what? That was such a great experience. I don't want to touch it again. And you have certain experiences like that. That was just, it was really, really a special one. So it's a beast. Oh, it's a beast.
Yeah, no, but that cast from beginning to end was just stellar.
Oh yeah. And I got to with one of my dance heroes, Matt Lair. He was my Bobby Child, and I had worshipped him from afar as a dancer for so long. And then when I heard he was doing it, I was like, I'm going to be on stage with Matt Lair. So, you know, it's little moments like that that make it all worth it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Getting to work with people you respect.
Kind of backtracking. How did you get involved in the arts? Like, how did you get into this business anyway?
Oh, you want me to rewind like to childhood?
I mean, sure. This
Girl,
is your
you want to
episode,
start
baby.
now, wherever you want to start.
Well, I can't not talk about my love and passion for the arts without mentioning my mom, because my mom was solely the reason why I started dancing. I started dancing at 3, and I vividly remember, and this is wild, you might be like, oh, she's bullshitting us, but I remember this. I was 4 years old, and my mom took me to see Nutcracker at Boston Ballet, because I'm originally from Massachusetts also, for those of people who don't know. I am not a native Floridian. I'm from the Northeast. Go Red Sox. But she took me to see that, and I remember, like, I have flashes of memories of watching that as a little girl and being like, I don't know what the fuck this is, but I want to do it. I need to be doing that. That's that. I don't care what it is, but I need to be doing that. And, you know, she really nurtured that and supported that. And, you know, God bless her. She took me to like every dance class and every recital and every audition and fun fact, I was a child beauty pageant queen, which was an entirely section of my life that is like I could write a book about.
Please send us photos of
honey,
you as a beauty pageant, like in beauty pageants and stuff.
You're welcome in advance. The 90s were a time. But you know, she was there for everything, and she lit that match within me because she was an artist as well. My mom was a brilliant sketch artist and painter and sculptor, and I'm sitting in my guest room right now with all of her like shit surrounding me, and it's, you know, it's like, oh yeah, just makes me feel good. But then I went to AMDA in New York. I studied there for 2 years, and then after school I moved back home for a while, and then I got back to the city at around 2010. And then I was in the city again for a while. And then I transplanted down to South Florida in 2011 via a friend of mine who had told me about the South Florida theater scene and how there was a lot of work down here. And then one thing led to another. And like before I knew it, I just started working down here. And I was like, well, I'm not going to go back to New York if I'm like working all the time. But yeah, I pretty much got into it via that. And I didn't start performing professionally until I was 25. So that's late in the world of musical theater performance. But the thing that really opened up a world for me was knowing that I didn't just have to live in New York and audition there and try to perform there and work there, that there was work outside of the city all over the country, and work that was just as good, and having a better quality of life, and really recognizing that I could professionally perform and have a career, and I didn't have to be in the city full time. So, but I basically, you know, I just got into the business basically just by being involved with the arts in some form my whole life. My brother, who's 14 years older than me, is actually a heavy metal musician. So we couldn't be more like diametrically opposed artistically, but he's a phenomenal singer and guitarist and pianist. And then my mom was an artist. And so art runs in my family. So it was kind of inescapable for me. So that's the long answer to your question.
We met when, you know, because I took a break from theater, and then I got just lucky enough to join Grease.
Yes.
Now, I know you've definitely known Kat longer than I have, but do you remember first impressions for the both of us?
Yeah. I remember I was like, oh, he's cute and quiet. And then all of a sudden, as we started to get into the rehearsal process, we started opening up to each other more. Because I always try to, when I meet new people and work with new people, I always try to like, you know, be cool and calm, collected. And then I like, as the rehearsal process goes on and you get closer to people, then I feel like, oh, I can warm up to you. I can open up to you. I can say this to you and you're not going to get offended or take it the wrong way. And then I heard you sing and I was like, oh shit. Like that whole cast that was a crazy time. It was during Omicron, but like that cast was awesome. I thought that was a production of Grease.
Yeah, like having that be my first like production professionally, like fun, like thank God first off it was Grease because it was just so fun and it wasn't like super technical and you could be like a character and just like have a good old time. Because like if I came in and it was like 42nd Street's your first professional theater, I would have fucking quit. I would have turned back around and I would have been like, I'm done. Like I quit. So
I don't want to do this anymore.
I'm tired of this, Grandpa. So I was like, fuck that. But you know, like when I did do 42nd Street though, now we did have a little mishap backstage. And
we have to talk about this.
Yep. And I'm glad that we're able to talk about it on here. So the quick changes in 42nd Street, as everyone knows, were bullshit. It was like maximum 30 seconds, maybe 40 on a good day. Like it was bad. Like some of them were as short as like 25 seconds, like get in, get out, go. Literally. And Dow and I, we didn't like having like super claustrophobic changing rooms because there were changing rooms backstage, but they were like super in the corner and out of the way. So like Dow and I had this one rack that we both shared. So like my costumes were on the left and hers were on the right. And one time we were running off.
Yeah.
Yeah. And one time we were running off and we're like ripping things. Like we were like, we need to go. Right. And I see now I never wore a dance belt in that show because I wore it once and then my ass split and then my cheeks were out during tech and it like scarred me. And shout out to Carrie, the lady that works at the LPAC, because she still brings up the time that she saw my ass. So
excellent.
Yes. So I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna wear briefs the rest of the run. Because I don't want to wear a dance belt and then have just like straight cheeks out to the audience anymore. So
bold decision for you, Michael. There are full brief dance belts. There are full brief dance belts.
Well, I didn't have one at the time. Okay. So I'm wearing my briefs and I'm changing. And Dow, don't correct me if I'm wrong, but you had like the sticky bra.
Yeah, the pasties, which I am such a sweater and everybody knows this. It's really embarrassing. Those fucking things would slide off of my body because I would be sweating so much and the sweat and the glue would just like mix. And my titties were like, no. Can't have us. One night during wearing the money, we were doing the money kicks and I could feel it unlatch. And I was like, you motherfucker, don't you dare fall out. I will never work down here ever again if a chicken cutlet lands on the fucking stage in front of this dime. I will lose my shit. So, you know, thank God it didn't. But yes, continue, Michael.
No, that honor of the chicken cutlet falling out on stage was for Mandy. Mandy had that honor, that run.
Well,
but you know, we're running backstage and it's like super, super quick. And then I don't notice it at first because it's super fast, but like I fall out like of the front little like thing that you use to go to the urinal. So I'm out. And then Dow bends down to go pick out something and both of her like stickies just like fall off. And we both look at each other, notice what happened. And then there was just this silent agreement of like, this happened. But we need to go on stage, so let's put it back in, and you put that back on, and then we'll run back out. There was a genuine moment of like, oh my god, well, go. Like, it
was just kind of like, yeah, it was a silent acknowledgement and agreement of we're friends. You know what? We all have the same parts and cash and prizes. Let's go.
Cash and prizes.
You saw my cash and prizes. I saw your cash and prizes. You know what? That's life. We're humans. Move on. we're in theater. I don't know what you want. You're going to see an ass cheek. You're going to see a titty. You're probably going to see a private part. I don't know. I'm sorry, guys. It's going to happen sometime.
Cash and prizes with Alex Dow.
That's it. That's it. That's the title of the episode.
Hashtag, yes. I approve.
The amount of people that have seen me half naked in theater or like fully fucking naked at this point is just wild. No other job is like this. Where it's like,
and I mean, when I tell you, like when I tell my friends who are outside of the industry and have, don't know anything about it, when I tell them what we go through and what we have to do, their heads explode because they don't fucking understand like the life we lead. And it's so foreign to them. They can't comprehend it. So,
it's wild.
It is wild. What did you do at work today? Oh, my titties fell off. Like, I tap danced on a dime. That's, the width of a VHS tape. It's like,
talking about something else, and I have the footage for this, Kat, and I'm gonna send it to you.
Bless.
My first like genuine like laugh with Dow was when Jonathan Van Dyke gave us the note to not treat Cha-Cha like Carrie at the prom. Everyone was so fucking mean to her.
Oh yeah, I loved it.
I got the note after, like, it was like during the run, and Cha-Cha like came up to me, and like during the number, like before hand jive, like we had bits, and like she'd make me pass out, right, like from doing like hip thrusts at me or whatever. But when it got to after, when everyone started to leave, Cha-Cha would come up to Sunny and like do another move, and I made the choice to throw up in my mouth one night. And that's the night that they got the archival video footage for it. So there's just got a laugh from the audience, and I was like, damn, that was really fucking noticeable. Like the audience started laughing at me throwing up in my mouth while Cha-Cha tried to come and talk to me. And I have this video, and I'm gonna send it to you, Kat. But it's like after that, I came off, and then Johnny was like, hey, Michael, let's not do that. And I was like, that's fine. I get it.
I love Jonathan Van Dyke. He's like, hey, yeah, you know what? No, I don't like that. I remember turning up stage to, because I had so much fun in that show because I just got to be such a dipshit. Like, I was swirling around and I looked up stage, and Kat and Harper are dancing. And I mean, I would cross my eyes. I would flare my nostrils. I would like blow that bubble gum like ball up as big as I could. And like, there were a couple of nights where I thought Harper was going to fucking break. Cause I was just like,
Harper was going to break. Harper every night would be like shaking watching you. And like, my whole thing was like, I can't be mean to Cha-Cha. I just need to be like the jealous girlfriend, and I would just like turn his head back to me, and I'm like, eyes on me only, buddy.
Go like this.
You would come closer, and he would watch you, and I would literally shift his body around so he couldn't look at you.
Oh man, because I was like, all right, you know what? I'm gonna be unhinged. Fuck it, like let's just do it. Oh my god, that was that was during a crazy time, but that was my first show back after the pandemic, actually.
That was my second show back after the Panini. It's which I know that just dated me, but but yeah, no. And it was so wild because every day we would come into rehearsal and like it'd be, like everyone, it's like pick a character out of a hat, and that's who's going to be playing the role for today. So it's like you'd be on for Rizzo, and Meg would be on for, if I wasn't there, Meg would be on for me, and it was like the weirdest, like it's just like everyone pick one, and like let's hope. Even the rehearsal photos and video, everyone was doing a different track in them. Like I think the photos and stuff that we have when we were doing Summer Love, and you were definitely Rizzo,
Yeah.
and then
I filled in for Rizzo that day. Yeah, because Jordan was sick.
Jordan was out, and then Ryan was out, and then Nia went out. Like it was like, but no, we didn't have a full cast basically until opening night.
And the when they recorded it, it was Aton was in for
Aton
Michael.
Was Harper.
Yeah, and that was like the first time we had ever done like mooning together. I was like, okay, I guess we're just doing it for our designer run, you know.
Yeah,
Godspeed.
I remember. Oh man! And then we had to have rehearsals canceled because someone tested positive, and it was just it was. And then we canceled a week of shows. I remember that too. We only did 2 weeks instead of 3 because of
that
Omicron.
Was rough, but the funniest part was having Johnny send videos of him play in the studio when the rehearsals were cut, and he would play every single part. He would tape. He would be like, "Hi, Kat. So this is Freddie, my love, and this is what you're gonna do, and you're here." And he would do all the choreo like in your spot. It was the most bonkers. The fact that we actually were able to put up that show. I mean, granted, we had that extra week where it was canceled, but we were still doing stuff. We did that extra tech and stuff because the tech. You think Grease is a simple show. Everyone does Grease. It's fine. Looking in the set for Freddie, My Love, I swear to God, was like the most technical thing we ever done.
I remember that. It was like, damn.
They had me run off after Summer Nights and then whatever the hell was going on. And then I grabbed like Marty's like, I don't know, closet where she changed. And I would just like shimmy it on like a fucking asshole. Like I'd be like this. And then like I'd place it. And then I'd be like, I'm going to slowly back off. But I still have my fucking sunny hat. Like you could clearly see it's me. Like there wasn't hiding anything. Like it's me as the judge. I don't know if anyone sees this shit at the end of Hello Dolly, at the end of the show, Hello Dolly. But I'm the judge and I do this thing. And the scene goes great, and then like we leave, but I made the choice to like, you know, when you like you're behind something and you do like steps, but there's no actual steps. Like you look like a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
So I say my line, and then I slowly like step down behind this judge thing, and then I hide and just flick it up and like move it while like I'm bent down. And I thought no one fucking noticed it until the night that Jody Langle came. And Jody was like, hey, that bit where you walk down off of the judge thing was funny. And I was like, you noticed.
Someone caught that.
Yeah. And then I brought it up with Michael. I was like, hey, did you see that bit when I walked? He went, yes, I saw the bit, Michael.
Yes, I saw the bit and I hated it every moment. I can only imagine. Oh my God.
But
fucking nightmare.
I had a question for you, Michael, about in Dolly, because I'm behind the set. Who says I heard her outside the kitchen window, right? Isn't that you?
Yeah.
Okay. Who says Rudy? Who says that?
That's Aton. He comes storming in from stage left. The Rudy.
I could never tell who it was, but you guys are so funny. So funny in the moment.
That was another one where I was just like, I'm a chef. Watch the character work. I was like, here it goes. And I started like, she's outside the kitchen window and it sounds like it was this whole thing. And then Michael came up to me one day in rehearsal and he was like, you know what you sound like? And I was like, oh no. And he was like, it's a beautiful butterfly. And I was like, all right. I was like, you're canceled.
So you're doing like faux German? Is that what's happening?
It's like character German. That's the best.
Did my life of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory and my Bavaria nonsense just bleed over into Hello Dolly?
Yeah.
I live
for 2 lines in the middle of
two
Act 2.
lines.
Yes.
Oh
Yes,
yeah.
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 Aw.
And you don't see it either, Dow, but I plie and I launch. Like I'm like, she's outside the kitchen window and it sounded like, and I plie and I jump up as high as I possibly can in the air and then land in a plie and come back up.
Oh,
And
cool.
I remember Lovell, he looked at me the first night I did it and he was like, oh. I was just like, listen, buddy, choices,
Listen,
my
buddy.
guy. I went, watch this.
Listen, buddy.
Just
Oh my
making
God.
choices. I wish I could see this. I wish I could see this.
What we do for love. Indeed. Indeed.
You know what we do for love? We get cut in the first 11 minutes and 37 seconds. And then we sit off stage. That's what we do for love.
Alex made it. Sorry about you, Butch.
I know. Butch, listen, justice
Come
for
on,
Butch.
Butch.
Justice
Come on.
for Butch.
Justice. Hashtag justice for Butch.
Thank you.
Oh, man. That show it's so hard. It's so amazing.
Talk about your experience because they gender bended your role for Chorus Line.
You know, this is like the 4th time I've been gender bended in a show, and I'm like, is the universe trying to tell me something? Which I will embrace. I love that stuff. I love doing that. Yeah, I got the contract last summer, and of course, my fiance, who is like everything to me, was like, I was like, should I do this? And he was like, yeah, you need to do that. Like, that's really cool. And I was like, yeah, that is really cool. And it's interesting because Lori is one of the only characters in the show who really doesn't have like a backstory. And I'm lucky enough to know people in the business that I can reach out to and talk to if I need. So there's an incredible Broadway dancer named Tyler Haynes. He was in the revival in 2006. And my fiance knows him very well. So he put me in touch with him, and I got to talk to him before we started rehearsals. And I was like, hey, like, do you have any advice to give me in regards to this character? Because like, I just want to hear it from your perspective. And then how do I approach it as a woman? Because like in the 70s, like, yeah, like Gwen Verdon was choreographing and women were starting to slowly move into more, Twyla Tharp as well. And we're all starting to move into more pivotal and head roles in choreographing and setting dance pieces. So I was talking with Tyler Haynes. He called me and I, asked him about the character and whatnot. And he just said, listen, there really is no backstory to work with. It's loosely based on Bob Avion, who was one of the, co-creators of A Chorus Line with Michael Bennett. He's like, you really just need to tell the story through the dancing. And you're also in a position of power because you work alongside Zach. You're not there for a job. You don't need a job. You've got the job. So you're almost kind of in your own show in a way because you're also, pulling the puppet strings under him. So really make your choices through your movement and through your dancing and through your pure presence on the stage. So what I really drew from was all of the teachers I had growing up, because my dance teachers when I was a young girl studying and training were hard asses. They were incredible, but they were tough. So, I grew up most of my life having dance teachers yell at me. So that whole section where I'm yelling again, like I grew up with that. So I drew from a lot of that method acting. I drew from a lot of that personal experience.
Sweet.
Yeah.
It was lovely seeing you do a part where, because I know you and you're a goofball. So like seeing you do like a hard ass like track like that, I was like, oh, new side of Alex. I like it.
Yeah. And that's the thing with musical theater too, that I think there's a misconception with as we get older. We think, oh, like I'm aging and all the roles. No, y'all, the roles for us I feel are going to get better as we age and as we get older. You know what I mean? Like there are so many roles I would love to do that I still can't do because I'm not old enough yet. And
100%.
I'm telling
100%.
we got to get over that because like there's so many brilliant, beautiful roles for older people in this business. So
I think people forget that like we're here to just service like the stories. And
right.
I think and I get it. It's like hard when you're like in this certain pocket of like, this is my type and this is my box that I live in. This is where I've lived in for like 15 years. And like, I can get that it's hard to like adapt and change. But when you only think about it from like, I'm here to service the story, like that's my job.
Yeah.
The world and the roles just like open up. And it's exciting. Like, sure, am I ever going to do Grease again? No. I clearly remember that review where they were like, some of these pink ladies are a little long in the tooth. I was like,
oh, I mean, same here. It's like, and here's the thing: I never thought I would do Grease. I've done, and I'm sure you guys feel this way too. There are shows I've done professionally I never thought I would do, and Grease is them. I was like, oh, I'm too old. I'm done. Like, I can't do Grease. You know. Yeah. So, never say never with certain projects because you never know. And yeah, it's the game of the business and being boxed into a type and like you can only be this and you're only appropriate for these roles and it only works this way. And it's all such a mind fuck. It really, really is.
No, it's true. And, you know, I could speak from that too. Cause when I did Grease, you know, I have thin hair. So I was like, you know, I don't think I'll ever be fucking playing Danny Zuko ever. And I got, you know, I just went out for it and, you know, I ended up getting it. So it speaks volumes as to like, just try, you know, just go. And like, even if you don't think you're going to like a show, like I always end up finding things from a show that I end up adoring. Like I when I did Little Mermaid, I was like, oh, it'll be like a cute little Disney show. Yeah. And it's like my favorite show that I've ever done in my life. So, you know, just give it a shot. Go out for things that you don't think you're right for, and some shit might happen, and you know, you might end up falling in love with a piece that you were like.
Absolutely. And I mean, yeah, there's a bunch of shows I've done that I'm like, I never thought I'd do Sister Act. I was like, there's no way. And you know, I think this business and the people in the industry kind of poison us to think like in this one narrow-minded, you know, way. And it's so toxic and it's so destructive to who we are, not only as artists, but as humans.
Yeah.
And it's like, I love what we do so much. It's so wonderful and amazing. And we make people feel good. And it's a form of escapism. But let's not forget, like, we are playing pretend and getting paid for it, which is, it's awesome. It's wonderful. But sometimes
I tell my students that all the time. I'm like, guys, we are literally playing pretend as adults. It is fine. We are not curing cancer here. We're playing dress up on a larger scale.
No, we're not. Yeah. We need to put things into perspective. And when you do that, I think you have and this also takes aging and time. This took me a long time. But I think it puts you in a healthier relationship with the business and with making art when you recognize that, you know what, it's going to be okay. It's important work we do, but it's not that serious. It's really not. It's really not. You know?
Yeah. No, and I mean, like, if we can distract you, like if you're going through something and you come to a theater and you just sit down for, you know, 2.5 hours and we can distract you from what's going on, you know, in your outside life.
Right.
That's exactly why I do it.
That's the only the reason I do it is, and I've said this before on social media, and I do it for the people, and I do it for the work, and I do it for the memories I'm ultimately going to make. And I think some people get into this business for the wrong reasons. And that's disheartening, but I know why I'm in it, and I'm in it to create and, you know, bounce my creative energy off of the friends and colleagues I work with. And I really am. We are blessed to have the community we do have down here, because there are so many talented people, so many people. And that's the thing that struck me too when I left New York for the first time. I was like, oh, there's talented people elsewhere, really? You know, like, we're just so poisoned to think it's Broadway or bust, and it's not, you guys, it's not.
Have fun with the theaters that we have down here, because everyone puts on good shit.
And
so
honestly, it's good quality work, and like the theaters are clean.
There's no baby monitors backstage anymore.
Rest in peace, stage door.
Stage door. Oh, R.I.P. stage door, man.
Listen, everyone likes to give stage doors like such crap, but I will say this: they employed so many actors.
Sure did. And the 2 shows I did there were good. So I'm like, I can't really shit on it too much. And yeah, they employed a lot of us. So, you know, they left a huge gap in the industry and the community down here when they closed.
When they closed, so many people, like, just because they could do like, so when they were at their old venue, they could do like 15 shows a year.
Yeah, because of
the two theaters, and they would run long.
Yeah.
I mean, like, 9 was my second show I ever did, and that was like 3 months, I think, total.
Yeah.
Like, that's a pretty sizable like gig, and they didn't like overwork us like crazy. We were doing like maybe 6 shows a week.
Yeah, like 5 or 6 shows a week. It was a really easy contract, and like, I mean, I enjoyed my time there, and I have friends that I met there that I still work with and I'm still friends with. So it's like, that's the reason why, you know what I mean? That's the reason. It's the people.
And if anyone's listening, let's start it right now. Hashtag bring back stage door 2024.
Oh, honestly, if someone would just like fund it, like give us all the money, then great. Awesome. Are you out there, listeners?
Let's bring back stage door.
If anyone in Non-Egg Nonsense hits the lottery, we're opening up stage door. We're doing it.
Bring it back.
Bring it back. Baby monitors and all.
But nice baby monitors.
New and improved baby monitors.
And we're going to install more than one bathroom.
Oh, that was wild. I don't know how we did that.
Oh, there were definitely days where like I would just like change out of my costume. If I had enough time, I would change out of my costume, walk around the building to the front lobby, use the patron bathroom, walk back.
Oh, hell yeah. I used to do that too.
I'm like, this is fun.
I was just like, I'd put a robe on and I'd be like, just go.
Just run.
With my like, cabaret whore makeup on. I'm just like, oh, I gotta go pee.
All right. Well, on that note, we are coming to a close.
Yeah.
I know. This has been a wonderful time. So, Alex, I want all of our viewers to go ahead and check you out. So shout out your social medias.
So I'm obnoxiously loud on social media, and I apologize in advance. But if you want to follow along with the crazy, chaotic bullshit, you can follow me on Instagram at AKD1286. That's like my personal primary Instagram account. And then if you go to that account, actually, you'll see my website and my professional account are all listed on that page. So if you want to follow along with the craziness, click away.
Click away. And by the time that this pod comes out, Hello Dolly will have closed. So congratulations to everyone involved. Yes.
It's been beautiful to revisit. It really, really has.
Yeah, no, I'm very happy that I got the chance to do it and to experience it. Like I've said a million times, I love that type of, the music, and the choreography is stunning, and just, it was a great time. So
can't go wrong.
And also congratulations to ACM for closing their second season. you know, that's really, really awesome. And what they're doing at Lauderhill, I think is amazing. So
I do too.
Announce the shows though, Michael. If you didn't announce it closing night, we have beef now, dude. Like the whole cast backstage has been guessing and waiting. And then it's like, oh, we gotta go on stage. Like, I know 9 to 5 is one of them.
Yeah.
I'm throwing that out there. That's the one with the numbers, buddy.
Well,
You're not hiding anything from me.
I know what the third one is. It's Lestat.
I can't.
La Hello Dolly again. We're doing
on Broadway for like what, a month.
I love that real quick when he was like, it's numbers. This woman walked up to him and was like, oh, it's 42nd Street. And it's like, you clearly weren't here for season 1, ma'am. Like, I don't know what to tell you, but it's not 42nd Street. Sorry to disappoint.
No, South Florida has had enough of it for a little bit.
Yes. But in closing, Alex, thank you again for coming on. It was a pleasure having you.
This was so fun.
Yes. Yay. All right. So this is Michael Matadomini signing off.
This is Kat Gold signing off. And
this is Alex Dow signing off.
All right. Hip hop hooray. All right. So Non-Egg Nonsense comes to you on your dark days on Mondays. We only have 2 more episodes of the season, guys. So, you know, what are we going to do until we come back for season 2? But for the award show, make sure to check out the Instagram and vote on the different categories that we're going to go ahead and present. But other than that, stay happy, stay healthy, no COVID.